Hey, what's going on, everybody? Icky Timey here for Tuesday Tea Time. I'm so glad you're on. I see some of you already on here. Welcome, welcome. I hope you had a great week. Why don't you comment in there and let me know how your week is going? Did you have a good week? Thumbs up. Did you have a tough week? Thumbs down. It's only Tuesday, so I hope it's not that bad. Welcome, welcome. Today, I've got the wonderful opportunity to hang out with a beautiful couple, a husband and wife creative duo team. Anthony is a visual effects filmmaker and architectural photographer, and Tracy is motherhood lifestyle blogger. Some of you may be following her. It's worth following her. She's killer good. They both are. They're both doing good things. What's up, Don D's? Don says, "What's up, cousins, cuzzos?" So yeah, they're going to be on. They love to explore new places, cook vegan food, and salsa dance. Yeah, get it. We might have to talk about the salsa dance bit. That's nice. They have 2 kids and a pet tortoise, because that's what you do if you're a millennial. You have a pet tortoise. And they're located right now in Dallas, Texas. So that's where they're residing currently. This is the awesome duet that we get to hang out with today. If you happen to miss out last week with the Colasars, we talked about relationships, and it was straight fire. It was real. It was good. It was funny. Go ahead and check that out onto our Facebook or our YouTube channel. Both of those places have them, just in case, because last week, for some reason, I couldn't get us back on Facebook, so we didn't get to shoot this out to Facebook, and I know a lot of you all follow along on Facebook. So jump over to our YouTube or back to facebook.com/OneHouseSoCal, and you'll see the Colasars interview. They talked about relationships, and it was good. Okay. Just before we get into it with the Fraziers, I also want to let you know, next week, if you happen to be wondering, what do people in conferences do, especially during this time, I'm going to be talking to 3 of the Seventh-day Adventist conferences on the West Coast. We've got the Hawaii conference. I'm going to be talking to their youth director and young adult director. I'm going to be talking to Central California Conference, youth and young adult director, and I'm going to be talking about Southeastern California Conference, senior youth, young adult directors. We've got Anil, Aaron, and Eric, and they're going to be a blast to talk with. We're going to talk about what they're doing during this time to connect their young people back to the church, grow their spiritual life, especially since all 4 of us don't have a local church that we're actually working with specifically, at least at this point. So you're not going to miss out next week. It's going to be popping and all to the good. Say Hello campaign is one of the campaigns that we're running right at our Southern California conference from the communications department. If you're interested in getting connected to the whole Say Hello campaign, we'd love for your story. Basically, what we're doing is just featuring stories of people around our conference and getting them connected to each other. You know, we've got a pretty large conference here, moving from all the way down in Long Beach, all the way up to Santa Barbara, Ojai, and from the coast all the way into wherever east we are, just west of the Disneyland. So there's a huge population of human beings that live there. And as you know, if you're living here in the LA basin, we've got so many different cultural groups that there are a lot of times you may never meet the same person again. So we want your story to be highlighted. Today I want to highlight my guy, John Dela Paz. John Dela Paz right here. He is the man. He is a young adult physical therapist who works at the Glendale Memorial Medical Center, I think. I might be lying about his story, but I believe that's what it is. And he's going to be featured here, as well as a bunch of our other peoples. He is a church planner as well. He just started a church ministry called New Life, and it's kicking here in SoCal in the Temple City area. So if you want to get connected, do that. Well, now that we've gotten through that, I've got one last thing to share before we get rocking with the Fraziers. It is this. We are I want to remind you, hey, go out and register to vote. Please do that. Make your voice be heard. Not just about a particular person, but there's measures and there's propositions and there's all kinds of stuff that you need to voice. So get out there. Registration for the California ends November 19th. Sorry, wrong. October 19th. If it's postmarked by October 19th, you can mail it in person, you've got up to November 3rd. But online, you can register to vote up till October 19th. Get out there, get your voice heard, make a dent in the world for good and for right and for light. All right? So do that. Now, all that said and done, let's get to the Fraziers. What's up, my peoples?
Hi.
How's it going?
How are you guys doing today?
Good. How about you?
Good. So if you are just jumping on here, hi, Tiffany. Good to see you, and Don D's, and for the rest of you guys coming on. If you are just joining us, I am with Anthony Frazier and Tracy Frazier, these social media titans doing some amazing things in the world while having babies. Woo, yes. Somebody give them praise. All right. So my lovely peoples, let's start where I always like to start. What are you drinking today?
Well, I'm drinking a ginger tea.
And this is tea.
Nice. Ginger tea. Okay. You know, somebody else was on this show earlier a few weeks ago drinking ginger tea. I like ginger, but it's a little powerful. Is it powerful? Is the ginger strong?
It's tasty.
It's not as strong as the powdered ginger tea.
Yeah.
So we have the simple tea bags.
So this isn't like some homemade brew you guys made.
That's only when we're like really sick or something like that.
Right.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. So listen, if you are joining in, feel free to drop some comments and some questions. We are going to get into some cool things about social media. We're going to learn some new tricks, new tips, get some hacks from this couple as we also talk about their story. So I don't want this to go on without you being able to ask some questions of things that you might want to hear about. All right. Let's start here. So Tracy, I want to ask you real quick. What is growing up? What was your dream job? What is it that you were like, boom, this is what I'm going to do when I grow up?
Oh, when I was younger, I wanted to be a doctor. And yeah, I always wanted to help people. That was always my dream, to help people. Oh.
Wow. Okay. So when did that all shift? When did that all shift?
Wow. Yeah, so in college, I studied biology, so I was on the path. I was there.
Yes.
It shifted there. I realized that that wasn't my passion. You know, I was doing it because the status quo. Like that's just the way things. Like that was the career that you just progress. Sorry, I'm like losing my train of thought.
No.
That's like the that you pursue. When you're younger, you're told that you either become a teacher, a doctor, a lawyer, and so that's why I pursue.
Right.
I'm just ingrained. I guess Jamaican culture, Caribbean culture, either this or that, So, and then later on in life, I had a moment where I decided to follow my passion, do what fills my heart with joy rather than what people expect you to do. Like, instead of living for people,
When did you, Tracy, when did you know, like, this new whole turn, this new era of what you were doing on social media, when did you know that was like, boom, this is what I want to do?
So actually, after getting a degree in biology, I went to grad school to pursue dance psychotherapy. Again, following the path of helping others, but just in a different way, a different light. I've always been passionate about dance, so I wanted to find a way to infuse a passion with another passion, helping others. Nice. And so after moving to California, and exploring entrepreneurship, getting the taste of it, what it was like after seeing Anthony's father live that life, I realized, wow, I actually want to live that life too, Closer to entrepreneurship prior to moving to California and seeing Anthony's father in that life. Wow. So in that moment, I decided that I was going to pursue entrepreneurship rather than dance psychotherapy. And that dance psychotherapy is an amazing field, amazing career. Just for me personally, it's just not the field that I wanted to pursue in life.
Ooh, so good. It's just amazing how taking different paths and being willing to be open to how God leads our story really just turns out something maybe unexpected, huh?
Right. Yes.
Man.
You just never know what's around the corner.
Yo, truth. Anthony, what was your dream job growing up, man?
Oh man, I wanted to be a classical pianist. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
That was the dream job kind of thing. Is like, because I was always, my family, they were always into music and everything.
Yeah.
And I learned to play by ear, and it just came natural, and it was fun. And it was like I was learning Beethoven, Bach, Chopin, and all these people by ear.
Get
and then I went
it,
to
boy. Get it.
and I went to school last year. Like my first year, I went to get music degree, and then
Yes.
I started realizing like I liked playing the piano, but I didn't love it because when you're really passionate or love something, you'll even do the harder parts
Yeah.
to it. So there's like music theory and everything, and I wasn't really into that or even piano lessons. So that's when I realized for me it was like, I might not like this as much as I think I do, kind of thing,
Right. Yeah, I remember you there, Anthony, man. I actually remember watching you just grow, man. And I just thought, man, like just watching you growing in different ways and expanding was really just pretty inspiring, bro. So do you still play the piano? Do you like still sit down behind the ivories?
My son has a little toy piano. That's probably as far as I've gotten in the past like 2-3 years. I told my wife, I was like, eventually I need to get a piano just to, at least let him get into it and see if he likes it and everything. But yeah, it's been a while since I played, honestly.
Wow. Tracy, do you have a knack for music as well? Is that like something you guys share, or is it like, nah, he does that, I do something else?
So interestingly, like I've taken piano classes for school, in high school, and I took a guitar class in college, but I never like continued it. I never fulfilled that talent. But I guess my knack for music would be in the movement form.
Nice. Hey, that's right.
I dance to the music as he's playing.
That's all related. Yeah. Ooh, that makes sense. Very good. Okay, as we go on, is there somebody you need to give a shout out to? Or you two need to say what's up to somebody or say hello or give some love out? People like Donovan keep showing up in the feed here. I don't want to, hurt his feelings or nothing.
Sure, yeah. I mean, shout out to our family, we love you.
Very good. How did you two meet?
You and Sharon.
Oh, we met on Instagram.
Hey!
Yeah. And it was like definitely before, DMs were on Instagram and everything. So she found my Instagram and I'm sure she could share the story.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I was waiting for prayer meeting to start, and I was moved by the Holy Spirit to keep it church-centered, Christ-centered. So I was looking through the Happy Sabbath hashtags.
Yep.
And that's how I came across Anthony's photo on Instagram. And so from there, we liked each other's pictures, and it just like our conversation just flowed naturally. And every day since then, we were in contact with each other. And then, exchange information, had video chats on Skype. And from there on, I flew out to meet him, and everything just blossomed.
So that was like a happy Sabbath, girl. Woo.
The Holy Spirit said, Tracy, look through the Happy Sabbath hashtag.
Yeah.
Oh, I looked through it.
Hey. And so, Tracy, where did you grow up?
So, predominantly, most of my time was spent in New York City. First Bronx, then Brooklyn. Yeah, so New York City. But I was born in Jamaica.
Okay. So you're the real deal then. You're the real deal. Okay, cool. Were you both on social media before you got together? Was that something that was big for both of you before you actually met, or was this something that kind of grew while you guys were already started into your relationship? I'm just trying to figure out where the love between you two and where the love of social media started.
Well, for me, I met Anthony when I was at the beginning of my natural hair journey. And so I joined the YouTube to share my natural hair journey as I was transitioning to growing dreadlocks. And so I would upload videos and just, have an open diary, with the natural hair community on YouTube. So I used the YouTube casually. There was no income involved. There was no talks of making income via social media at the time, you know.
Right. What
So
year was that? What year was that, Trace?
that was 2011.
Ah, got it. Yeah.
Yes. So just, you know, out of fun, and that for me, social media has always just been out of fun. Like I joined it to have fun,
Yeah.
not to make income, and then later on, many years later, the income came.
We are going to get into that. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are with me, I'm hanging out with Anthony Frazier and Tracy Frazier, and we're talking about all things social media. We're talking about relationships, parenting, marriage, Jesus. We're talking about it all. So if you got a question, pop it to us while we're talking along. You can follow Anthony at Seeing Tony, and you can follow Tracy at Knowing Tracy, and you can just join the 1 billion other people that happen to be following them. I wanted to ask you guys about becoming influencers. And let me start with you, Anthony. How did you become the influencer you are today? How did that birth? I know that I just got done asking Tracy about your relationship and like, you know, the how close it was to your social media engagement. But along that line, Tony, how did you become that? How did it happen?
I think it was more accident. A lot of times I feel it's accidental sometimes because for me, honestly, I was just sharing my photography work. At the time, I was doing like a self-portrait. Hold on, guys. We were doing I was doing a self-portrait project with like photo manipulations where I'm like duplicating myself, and I would, because during that time, my grandpa, he had like dementia, and you know, he was declining, so I was trying to find a way to release and the stress, because my mom, my dad, brother, and I, we were all taking care of him and everything. So during that time, I went to art to do a release, and so I would like write messages about what the picture meant, and so from there, I guess it started. You know, people started following because, you know, I'm creating this art of works of art, I guess you can consider, and stuff. And so they would, you know, sorry about the kids. They would, yeah, so people would just start coming just to see the creative thing. So it wasn't like an on purpose thing for me, because even then when I was doing it, Instagram wasn't like what Instagram is now.
Yeah.
It was like Facebook, but then you had people who were photographers, but nobody was like really hitting that 100K million followers or anything like that.
Right.
Or I guess, yeah.
I guess it would be useful to put out there that you're a photographer now. That's actually what you do as a profession, right? Very good, very good. And if you happen to want to see some of his stuff, you could go on to @SeeingTony. You'll see some of your work there. Fantastic. And Trace, what about you? Like, how did this formulate? How did you become the influencer you are today?
Well, it all, like Anthony said, it all happened by accident. It was just that natural, raw desire to connect with people and to share our experiences. And so at first, it started from just sharing my natural hair, my dreadlock journey, until my 5 years of that, right? And then during that time, I started to share my clothing because I had recently moved to Murphy's, a small town in California from New York City, and I packed barrels and suitcases of clothes. I had nowhere to wear them. So I said, I wear the clothes and just take pictures in them. And so there, people were drawn to the different outfits in my style. And after that, after having Kai, people were drawn to my perspective of motherhood, you know? So I feel like my journey, a lot of things just fell into place. It wasn't planned. It just so happened and evolved as I evolved as a person and as my life experience evolved. And so, yeah, so I like to just say that it's like an open diary, open vision diary, showcasing my life and experiences as it happens.
Did you have any idea, Tracy, that it was gonna blow up the way it did for you? Like, was that ever like your goal?
So no, that was never my goal because I never knew that was a thing, you know.
Yeah.
I just shared and I just always enjoyed taking pictures. Even like MySpace days, you know, like way back. I just love taking pictures and love to create. That was always a creative outlet for me. And And so, yeah, in the beginning, no, I didn't know that was a thing until I came across someone's post and they said they had free donuts. And I was like, you get free things in exchange for a post. So I downloaded the app and saw that people were getting paid. And so that's when I realized it was when 2014, 2015, when I realized you can get paid for Instagram posts.
And when did you know that you had arrived or that you made it? When did you know that moment?
That I arrived? Well, I wouldn't say I arrived because, there's always so much growth to be had.
True.
But I'm grateful for where I am,
Yeah.
I knew that we can make a living via blogging, social media, when Anthony and I started to do it as a team. They say there's power in numbers.
Yes.
The strength in numbers. So that's when I knew when Anthony started to help, and he was like strongly immersed in the business as like my photographer at the time. Now he's my manager, so he handled that portion of everything. But working together definitely strengthened the content.
Wow.
Working together, using our talents and immersing our talents together. But also Anthony, he taught me like how to edit, how to do this, how to do that. So working together definitely has helped us, helped me to grow, knowing Tracy.
Anthony has that gift, man. Anthony, you have that gift. I love watching some of your stuff because you started, like you said, with photography stills, but you do video stuff now. That's a lot of fun too. Like, watching you, like throw clothes on your kid, kind of like poop, 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 and it's a lot of fun to actually see that. Did you find that because of your photography background, it helped a lot transition or relate to being a social media influencer and creating content? Because content is super important when it comes to social media.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like in the years of learning photography and everything, like the transition from, because it's like I'm using like Photoshop and Lightroom all the time, and then I find that Adobe After Effects and like Premiere are like very similar. So. And it was my wife's idea because I with the visual effects, I got into it because she was like, you should get a TikTok. And I got one. And at first I was just like the little funny stuff. And then she was like, oh, you should do like some creative stuff. And I was like, okay. So it was an easy transition where it's just like, because it's like, oh, this is very similar like this. It's just motion. And I do find making videos is a lot harder than photography because it's like, at least with photography, you can like edit something out or whatever, but video, a lot of times it's like you have to be perfect and everything.
The work is painful and nobody ever knows how much work post editing does, right? Jillian asked a question. I want to pop it out there. Jill asked, when do you know you've reached enough, like enough followers, enough money, etc.? Is that something that you consider while you're doing the whole thing? Or is it just like, look, I'm just putting out content, I'm just being authentic, and people just kind of follow along, or is there a particular goal or destination that you say, okay, we'll know this is enough when we reach this place?
And so when you say enough, I guess more clarification is needed behind that question, because when you say enough, do you mean I am complete as a blogger, or do you mean I have enough something to make it income? You know what I mean?
Trace, why don't you come out after both of those? That's great.
Okay, so I guess Anthony could touch on the part where it's like numbers doesn't matter. You can
Right.
Yeah, so that's the thing, and everybody goes through that.
Yep.
Everybody goes through that because even, we ourselves, we've got in the moment of being caught up in numbers when it's more about, the content you create and everything and stuff. So it's like to always chase that number, you're not going to be necessarily happy just with like anything, because it's like that's just how life is anyway. It's like you're like, I want this fast car, you get that fast car, then the next year the faster car comes out and everything. So you can chase this number forever because numbers are infinite kind of thing and stuff.
Wow.
So it's like,
Anthony.
So it's just Yes,
Can I
sir.
stop you for a quick second, because you guys are social media influencers. That is something you do. That's the official title you get to have because you do that. Please repeat that phrase, because there's a lot of young folk in this world who just are pretty sure that if they just get enough followers, they're gonna be happy. Please repeat this, because you are one to know and understand this. This is a part of your professional life.
Yes. So chasing a number is like it's infinite. So it's like numbers are infinite. So you're never gonna have enough followers. No matter, you could be at 300 trillion and you're still like, I just need that one extra person. So it's like, yeah, you're never gonna be happy because, like you said, numbers are infinite if you're chasing numbers.
Woo, good, so good. That is, I just need to pause on that for a second, to let some of my peoples out there know. Listen, you're never gonna have enough followers to make you happy. Happiness does not come from this. I know this is something that we're new to struggling with because we hadn't always had social media, and that that endorphin gets pumped every time somebody likes your photo, man. Like, let me tell you, when 2 people like my photo, I'm like, yes. But it's not gonna fulfill you. And this is coming from people who do this on a regular, who are good at it. And if they're telling you that, you need to listen in. Okay, Anthony, back to you, man. Let's keep rocking, bro.
The part about you don't need the numbers.
Yeah, and you don't need the numbers. It's like a lot of times it's like there's so much that goes into blogging and influencer partnerships with brands and everything, where it's just like a lot of people, they don't realize that, you can make more money from like a brand using your image for a year and stuff for advertising or yes. Go ahead.
Yeah. So what Anthony's trying to say is, especially with now and the times of the pandemic, a lot of brands are reaching out to people to create content for their marketing campaigns. So instead of renting a studio and hiring different people like a photographer, a makeup artist, a stylist, a caterer, etc., and renting equipment, they're hiring in out of studio talent to create content for them. And so you do not need a certain following size to do that. You can be as 2 followers, but if you take amazing photos and someone from the team sees your content, they'll hire you. You know what I mean? So there's that side of the creative outlets, creative spectrum. Yes.
So am I to take from the deduce from that what you two are suggesting is don't chase followers so much as making sure you're putting out good content.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes.
Got it. My friends, good content. Look, just focus on that. And it seems like what you're saying, there are brand deals out there to be had. We'll talk a little bit about that. But I did want to ask both Anthony and Tracy, both of you guys. I'll start with Anthony. Where do you find your inspiration, bro? I've seen your stuff and it's good. I love your stuff. So where does the inspiration come from? Is there somebody that you like to follow? Or is it just coming from like your everyday family life? Where does it come from, Anthony?
It comes from different avenues. Like one thing for me sometimes is I like watching people in my field, but I try not to watch their videos because then I don't want to like subconsciously repeat or do what they've done. A lot of times I actually look at what everyone, for instance, like with TikTok has its trends. And so I'll grab their trends and then just try to think of a creative way to do something, whether it's like, everybody's throwing a penny in the water. I'm like, what if I throw the penny and it bounces off the ceiling, goes all over the place, and then it goes in the water? Then it makes it, I always try to think of something that makes it different, but it's familiar at the same time.
Right. What about you, Trace?
Yeah, so for me, I'm inspired by the motherhood community,
Ooh.
I'm also inspired by artists, but also I'm just inspired by everyday motherhood life, just pulling from different things that happen during the day and just speaking on it. But because content isn't only the photography, but it's also like the caption and the words that you attach to that, the story that you share, the experiences that you share, because then that also adds another layer to the message that you're trying to portray, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Man, that's you're speaking truth. And all those pieces are important. Knowing when to recognize a good story or something that's like authentic. I'll tell you what, guys. My daughter makes better videos than I do at 100, and she doesn't even mean to. She just takes my phone and like she's videoing me while I'm sleeping, talking trash, and I just every time I post that somewhere on Facebook, people are like, "Oh, we love this." I'm like, "Dang it, man."
It just naturally flows.
It just comes straight from her. You know what I mean? Oh man. Okay, cool. Hey, listen. I have a couple more questions I want to ask, but because your kids are in there with you, I love that. By the way, this is the epitome of what it means to live during the pandemic. I don't know how many videos and how many sermons online I've had to do with my children just coming all up in there like It's the new norm. Tell me, how do you both balance parenting as well as personal time together as well as your professional lives?
Touch on that. Okay. Well, so for me, it's all about the boundaries. And so I know that on weekends, I try my best to like not be as active on social media and just like really spend that time with the family, you know, because that's when Anthony is off from work. Because I don't think you even touched on that. Yeah, because he works throughout the week. And so, yeah, and so what we tend to do is sometimes we like pick a date and like we will take just like creative shots. You know, like whenever I have an artistic idea, I tend to take those photos in like a certain block so that throughout the week I'm not like asking Flo and Kai like, oh, let's take a picture. So we take like 3 photos and that's like enough for like 1 week, you know? But then like throughout the day during the week, you know, like I try to just like be as present with them as possible. And that's why I'll post when they're napping or like before they're even awake. Like boundaries and spaces and working in between the little cracks of moments where they're not as where they're like sleeping so that I'm not letting it interfere.
Yeah. My secret is a lot of Benadryl. I just dope them up. No, I'm just playing, everybody. If you're watching, don't call social services. I'm just playing. It's Tylenol. No. What about you, Anthony?
Oh man, I guess it's similar because it's like, so with my job, like I work for a commercial database company that does information on commercial buildings and stuff. So I take pictures of like, you know, buildings and stuff. But so then I'm at work all day, but then it's like then when I get home, we had to find the boundaries where we both had to sit down and then answer her emails and stuff, and then spend time with the kids and everything to make sure we get them to bed. Yeah. And then when they go to bed, we have that personal time, whether we watch a show or we just sit down and talk or whatever. We go between that and everything and stuff. And it helps too. It's like we just the schedule because it's like, since I drive a lot too, she usually at nighttime, she like take care, like if they wake up at night, she takes care of them. But then on the weekends, it's her vacation where it's like, you know, her bath and she goes relax and everything and stuff, and then I'll take care of the kids. So it's like a lot of teamwork with us in the boundaries, and you know, and then putting everything in a section of time where it's like, okay, at this time we do this and stuff. So you know, it's exhausting and tiring, but you know, it works for us, and it's you know, and things, you know, get better as the kids get older and everything. But, you know.
It's more important now more than ever to make sure that you have boundaries so that you get some personal time, you get some together time, you get some family time, you get professional time. Because basically what they've done with not they, but what's happened during this pandemic is they've just thrown us in one big bowl of, you know, it's like a big salad. Now they're like, you've tried to figure out how you want to compartmentalize everything. Yeah. And so good. Good teamwork. Love that. Okay, I want to ask another question for you to help our peeps as they're watching along. How did you get into brand deals? So if you're watching right now, I'm hanging out with the Fraziers, Anthony and Tracy, at Seeing Tony, at Knowing Tracy, and they're doing some great things on the web, World Wide Web. What I want to ask you both is, how do you get into brand deals? If someone's watching along and they're trying to figure this out, this portion, can you help us out with that?
Yeah, I would say, well, be your authentic self. I know we'll probably touch on some of that even more, but once you just be yourself and share that with the space, the internet space, no matter whatever topic it is, there is a brand, there is an audience for you, you know? And so, sorry.
It's freaky when that thing goes off in the middle of the night, though.
Oh,
When it
yeah,
shouldn't go off. You're
definitely.
like, what is that?
Just wait. And so, yeah, we had to move the toy because it doesn't stop talking.
Yep.
And so, yeah, so no matter what you're interested in, there will be an audience for you, and there will be a brand out there that would love to work with you. And so there's like different platforms, online platforms that you can go on and apply. But also, once you put your email in your bio, if a marketer comes across your bio or your profile, sorry, then they'll see that, okay, this is an opportunity where I can reach out. So sometimes actively reach out to brands via platforms or via email. You just have to find their marketing email, or brands will reach out to you.
Nice. Very nice. That is good information to know for me and for anybody else out there who's going into this genre of passive income or work. This is a good place to be. Okay, so
sorry.
Yeah. No,
I want to touch on quick. If you're just starting to, it's good to actively reach out to brands. Like Google whatever brand it is and type in like marketing, and then the email should pop up. But yeah, it's really good to put yourself out there, pitch yourself, let them know that you're there, because sometimes, maybe they just didn't come across you yet. Yeah.
Or even on Instagram, a lot of the marketers are running the social medias of each brand. So even if you message them too,
directly
DM.
Yeah.
True, that's a good one.
Ooh, that is good. That's money right there. Listen, y'all need to send the Fraziers a check for that piece of information they just gave you. I got you guys. I'm gonna write up my profile. I'm gonna be like middle-aged, over the hill, pastor who's not preaching right now. If you need him, he's got you. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so in this segment of our time together, our time is moving. I want to do what we call 3, 2, 1 hacks. Basically, I ask you for 3 practical tips that people can take away from today, then 2 practical tips on a different area, and then 1 practical tip. And if you're listening in, this is the time for you to key in and write some notes down, or work on your memory game. But you want to soak these in, because these will be practical tips that you could almost immediately put into action that will affect that particular area or that scope. So the 3 areas is, if you could give us 3 easy tips that someone can do immediately to up their viewership. If you can do, what 3 things can somebody watching along right now do that will immediately affect their viewership?
Okay. Well, the first thing would be, I guess, use hashtags. So, yeah, if you have a business account, you can see how many viewers you get from hashtags, and sometimes it's a lot, or most times, there's a lot of viewers. So hashtags, also IG Reels, if you're on Instagram. So whenever Instagram comes out with a new feature, is a good idea to like jump on the new feature, because that's the feature that they'll push and promote. So IG Reels, definitely use IG Reels. So if you're a pastor, say some sermons on IG Reels,
Yeah, right.
and then use some hashtags there too. And 3, it might not be as intermediate as the 2 prior suggestions, but find a niche, an audience that you want to speak to. So for me, it's like motherhood is the overarching one, or find an umbrella, and then what is your main umbrella? What is the raindrops underneath? Motherhood is the umbrella. The raindrops underneath would be like lifestyle, fashion, vegan foods. So think about that. Who are you trying to speak to? And then you'll know what kind of content to create around that.
Oh my goodness, that was like such a wellspring of stuff right there. Anthony.
I would say it's kind of like an instant, but long term in a way too, is being consistent. Like consistency is such a huge thing with everything.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's like if you're consistent, you'll, I mean, that's just naturally, it's just, it's naturally gonna bring in the audience. Also, a lot of people get caught up in looking at what other people are doing, especially in their same area. Don't worry about, because everybody's journey is different.
Right.
So focus on you, and then have fun.
Yeah.
I mean, they seem simple, but those are like the key things, because it's like if you'll eventually get so caught up in everything else and what's going on around you, and you'll try to duplicate what everyone else is doing. But if you follow those three things, you'll be more like in tune with yourself and your creative side.
Man, I feel like everybody watching today is getting bonus rounds, because you both gave 3, so that's 6. So you just got 6 real practical tips on how to up your game on viewership. Thank you. Okay, so that means we're gonna get 4. Yeah, this is good. Okay, give us 2 easy tips that someone can do to help find their voice. You talked about a niche, Tracy, and I'm guessing this is kind of in that scope, right? Finding what it is that you're good at, or your voice. Can you guys give us 2 practical tips on how someone can do that?
Yeah. Well, I know. I guess I could touch on writing it all out. I always talk about this. Just write it out. Like, we have so much stuff trapped inside.
Yeah.
Just like let it out. So like, whether it's a journal or on your phone in the notes section, or just a quick scribble, but just like whenever you have free time, but find that moment to just sit in stillness and really think like, okay, what are my interests? What causes me to feel different emotions, whether it's like sadness or happiness. Write it all out. What are you drawn to? And Anthony likes to say, what do you find yourself doing when you're exhausted? That's something that you're really truly passionate and connected to. So like, what am I connected to? What will I do even if I'm exhausted?
Ooh, that's good. That's good. All right, Anthony, give us your 2.
Oh man,
you started a trend, bro. Like, if you could give 6, you're gonna have to give 4 now.
Let's see. What do I do
as a creative?
As a creative?
Yeah.
I mean, let's see. I find out that that's a good one. It's got working what you have, because a lot of times you get caught up too with saying, I need the most expensive equipment to do these type of settings and different things and stuff. But a lot of times, you may not have the money, and it's not worth like using your credit card or going in debt trying to buy a $8,000 camera. And it's like you only need an $8,000 camera if you're gonna work with brands that are paying you like hundreds of thousands of dollars. So it's like, simple camera, your phone works fine, because most of Tracy's content, for instance, she shoots on her phone and everything. So it's like you don't even need, and the camera phones are really great too as well. So,
but in addition to that, to touch on that, like working with what you have. Say for example, you only have clothes from like discount clothes. Then you focus on that area and talk about deals, rather than hoping for that Chanel bag that you can't afford.
Right.
So like work with what you have,
where you are.
Work with what you got.
Yeah. I mean, I'm probably one of those human beings included, but I know a lot of people who's got like, they got like Nordstrom equipment, but they got like Payless skills. Look, invest in your skill set and let the equipment kind of come along the way, huh? That's good. That's good. All right, we're gonna do give us one practical tip that anyone can do immediately to help better their posts. What can somebody do that would really just help their post game go up?
Okay, so for me, it would just be as I touched on earlier, was to go deeper, to add a story. If something's happening throughout your week and it really it clicks, it sparks something in you, write it down then and there, and then later on you can attach that to one of your posts. But yeah, but to like have a caption that sparks conversation, always be interested, or most of the time, yeah, always be interested in your audience. So like at some part in the caption, you can ask a question, and then that will lead to people answering. That will increase the engagement and potentially help you to, get a boost in your reach.
Nice. Very good.
Yeah.
Anthony, do you got one to share for with us?
Yeah, I guess that like on the imaging side, there's so many different like classes out there where you you don't have to, and I'm not saying people don't go to school, but you can learn how to be a photographer, videographer, create content. So they have things like Udemy and Skillshare, which are very affordable, and then they have professionals teaching you how to edit, how to, do different things with video and stuff. Even YouTube, which is free too, is like learning the quality of your image content. That's like another side of it, and everything. It's like you have like all these options out there, so it's like you don't have to spend thousands of dollars, and you just they'll show you, and you add the thing with the blogging, like, and the captions, and that combined,
Do you have one particular platform that you could suggest to somebody that they could use to help them learn more about photography?
I would say Skillshare.
Skillshare.
Skillshare usually it literally has like pretty much every, like, all these great photographers like Miss Haddon, and like if you're into the urban photographers or the fashion photographers or lifestyle or nature, they're all on there, and they're all teaching you from startup what equipment they use and how to edit and everything. So and it's like $15 a month or something.
Nice.
Unlimited.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Skillshare.
Yeah.
People, you just learned something that you could use. Go to Skillshare, get on there, and learn something new, something fresh.
Yes.
I like it. Thanks, friends. Okay, we're going to play a quick game. Let's play a quick game. Are y'all ready to play a quick game with me? So this quick game is called Love One, Leave One. I play it with everybody every week. It's one of the things that we do around here. And for those of you who are joining in for the first time, welcome on. I am hanging out with the Fraziers, and we're talking about all things social media, parenting, and marriage and faith, and the whole kit and caboodle. We do this thing every week called Love One, Leave One. I give you two options, and you choose which one you want to leave, which one you want to love. Okay, and by the way you'll answer, you can just say love this, and we know that means you're leaving the other thing. Whatever you choose to love, you can have and use and enjoy for the rest of your life consistently every day. Whatever you didn't choose, that thing disappears from existence, and nobody in all of humanity and history can ever use that thing again. It just disappears from the earth. No pressure, but the universe is depending on you to choose correctly. I was talking with my friend Donovan, and he was saying, hey, listen, make them have to choose together one or the other. Because usually I let everybody just choose whichever one they want, and we kind of go on. You only get a minute and a half. But today, ladies and gentlemen, you two are going to have to decide on one answer. All right, we only get a minute and a half, and we're going to be cruising along. Jillian says she stole the game for Youth Sabbath School this week, and the kids loved playing it. Awesome, Jillian. Anytime you need to steal it, girl. Any of you are welcome to take this game. Okay, are you two ready?
Yeah.
All right, minute and a half's coming on that clock. We are a go. Hats or belts?
Hats.
IG or TikTok?
I guess IG.
Okay. Sony or Canon cameras?
Sony.
You're gonna defer to Sony, huh? Okay, Tracy. Beyond Patty or Impossible Burger?
Impossible. We have to pick one. Impossible.
Impossible.
Spinach or cabbage?
Oh man. I love cabbage.
Yeah, cabbage.
Cabbage? Ooh, get it. Stripes or plaid?
Stripes.
Hats or watches?
Hats.
Oh, you like watches?
No, we'll do hats.
Oh.
We like hats. So.
No watches ever again. No one will be able to tell time. Eyes or mouth?
Eyes.
Eyes.
Nice teeth or no ash? The ash
Nice
is-
teeth. Oh, I might get ashy. You just got lotion in.
True.
Oh, it never go away? No.
They'll never go away.
See, right away.
Okay.
Teeth
Teeth.
cover.
Countryside or city life?
I know it's hard.
You ran
think-
out. Time is up. Time is up. Oh, you guys. Very good. Hey, thanks everybody for playing along. I'll let you guys answer that last question. Country life or city life, guys?
Country.
You said country? And I
Well,
say city. In between. Okay, country.
Oh, nice. Now, you guys answer that, but is that basically because of where you both grew up, or how do you associate to the country life as well as to the city life, and vice versa?
I mean, me personally, I like that in between where it's like kind of suburban, rural, because it's like I don't like living in the country. I mean, it has its perks and stuff, but I don't like living in the country, but then I don't like living in downtown either.
Yeah.
Kind of
Said
thing.
in between.
Yeah.
Yeah. We like you know, it's nice to have the diversity and the different options and the energy that the city brings.
Hmm.
But then with city life at the same time, you don't have your personal space usually. You know, there's pros and cons to both.
Yeah.
Country is peaceful, it's quiet. There's no rush or anything.
Joanna says true SDAs. That's I'm Joanna. I'm your new biggest fan. That was hilarious. Radiate Kind asks, "What do you guys miss about Long Beach?
Oh,
What most do you miss about Long Beach?"
The vibe.
The vibes. Long Beach. So I guess we're drawn to that earthy, that natural, that like hipster energy.
Oh, I love it there.
And the beaches. We we love beaches, and we love that aura of the festivities, the festivals and stuff. I mean, with Corona, I'm sure that isn't possible, but we love that. The vegan restaurants were really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
weather was perfect.
The weather was really nice.
Love the LB, and of course Pastor Pono, right? I mean, yeah,
Oh,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
No, we enjoyed that. Yeah,
That goes without
Long Beach-
saying.
Shout out to Long Beach.
Shout out to Long Beach SDA. So good, so good. Radiate Kind said, that is Katie. She said, not us. See, we just answered that, Katie. We good. We good. I got you guys back. I got you guys. Hey, for both of you, because you guys are much further progressed in the process of growing out social media and being influencers, what is something that you would tell yourself, your earlier version of yourself? Anthony, what's something you would have told your earlier version of yourself, let's say 10 years ago?
Be consistent and just be consistent. That I think that's the biggest thing for me. And do not be fearful.
Good. And you, Tracy?
Oh, it would be like not to compare yourself. Don't compare yourself and work with what you have. Real quick, short anecdote. Because when blogging started to become the new thing, like the rage, everyone was becoming a blogger.
Yeah.
A lot of times, everyone would take photos in front of the white garage door. And at the time, I was living in nature, Murphy's, and I had access to, pine trees and just earth, nature, cows and all that stuff. But because I wanted to be like everyone else at the time, I would just stand in front of the white garage door and take pictures when I had access to so much nature and things, So be true to yourself, be true to who you are. Don't compare yourself to others because that will set you apart,
Yeah,
Yeah.
so good. And has faith played any role in how things have unfolded for you both? How has that faith done so?
Oh yes, of course. You have to have Christ as your
Ooh.
center, as your core, your foundation, and everything. Also just moving on faith. I know there was a point when it was the only income, right? Yeah. Yeah, I was working with a company, Stitch Fix, and then I decided, well, should I put all my energy into this or into that? And I decided to just leave the company and then just really solely on blogging. And that's when Anthony and I
Yeah.
just did it together, and then we were able to just use that as the sole income. Moving by faith, and just praying, 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 and just yeah. So, and I try to
Wow.
also move faith into my posts and stuff that I share to like empower moms, empower people. Yeah, and to just
Wow.
part of me to
Well,
really just share it all.
in such a time in our history where things are so divisive and segregated and angry, the more positive content we put out there that drives people to authenticity, kindness, and goodness is light to the world, and that is found foundationally in our faith and who we are at the core of our of our being. And so, Tracy, man, your stuff is fantastic and phenomenal. It's obvious why there's such a strong following. Both you and Anthony are putting great things out there. Anthony, how has faith? We're rounding out our time together. If you just joined us, welcome on, man. I'm hanging out with the Fraziers and we're having a good time here. Anthony, how has your faith affected your decisions and where are you at today?
Um, it's just being fearless more, and like even when we do brand deals and when brands reach out, like we'll pray about it, and even sometimes when we have to, because certain terms and contracts we don't, because we're very very like protective of our kids and their image, and
Yeah.
we don't want brands to own it and stuff. So there's times where even though money might be good, we have to say no because we don't want them to use the image of our kids. So it's like having that faith that God's going to open another door for another situation, and many 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 times he has, and everything. So it's like it's like you don't want to lose your soul in the whole thing, or
Yeah.
you're giving up your kids like image or well-being and stuff for money kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing and stuff. So it's like having faith in God, knowing that no matter how stuck or if like financial tight things are, sometimes it's like you don't cross that line. God's gonna open the door for something else to happen, and like I said, he has many of times.
Wow.
Right.
Praise God.
Yeah, and so like this industry, it can get very like it can cause a lot of people to change who they are as a person. And so keeping Christ as our like center, especially in our marriage too, but also with our business, it causes us to stay humble and always stay connected to the purpose, the why,
Ooh.
not to get caught up in the glitz and the glams of the blogging life,
Right.
could
Because
be that,
because the lines can get blurred quite easily right there, because people are affirming you, the endorphins are pumping. Oh, I guess it'd be all right if we give a little bit more here, give a little bit more there. Next thing you know, you ain't got nothing to give anymore. It's all been taken.
Yeah.
Wow, man, that's really good. Last, I got just two more questions because we're running out of time. But during this time in our country where there's so much social unrest, have you guys been affected by that? Has it caused any second thoughts about what you're posting, what you're putting out, and or are you any kind of just anxiety in your community or anything like that? And how have you guys been dealing with it?
When you when you say social unrest, are you because there's like three things.
Yeah.
Right now, there's like the division between COVID, then there's a division between politics, and then there's social justice.
Yeah, so I'm probably thinking more primarily about social justice, but obviously that's the trifecta that 2020 has put upon us, right? And it's been on all of our minds, and I'm really just talking about how it's really segregated. It's broken us. So, if you would much rather talk about it in a bundle because you get the three in one. or if you want to
Yeah.
primarily look at and talk about the social justice aspect of it, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, so I know for me, I decided to just like share some experiences that I had growing up or even today. When I say today, I mean like recently regarding like racism or prejudices. Just because I wanted to be a voice in that conversation and to also like create a space for that discussion to be had. So, because when you know that you have an audience, then like there's people that's waiting to
Yeah.
hear like what is her thought on this, what's her thought on that. So I want to use that as an opportunity just to like really like let people know like what really happens, you know. And then yeah, a lot of people, they messaged me and they said, wow, they didn't know that racism still existed and was a thing, you know. So I'm glad that I have the opportunity and the space to like be a voice for people who have experienced the negativity, you know, because of their skin color.
Yeah,
So yeah,
absolutely.
I just want to use my platform to speak on those topics while uplifting those and like, you know, amplifying melanated voices and
Yep.
such. Yeah.
Thank you, Trace. What about you, Anthony?
I guess it's kind of like, at least for me, I'm the kind of person, because I know a lot of people are reacting to a lot of things out of anger and frustration, which is understandable. But there's like so many different sides where a lot of people don't understand. Like,
Yeah.
I think when I share my thoughts on different things, it usually takes me a while because I really like to sit and stew, and I don't want to come from a place of anger, and I try to be as logical so people can truly understand. So I'll write something and erase it and write it and erase it for
Yeah.
like days until I feel like comfortable, where it's like, okay, I feel, and it still doesn't matter. Like, you can write the most logical explanation of something or how you feel or what you went through, and somebody's still going to disagree with you. That's just the world we live in.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just focusing on even though times are hard, it's still focusing on being true to who I am as a person and being true to how I know God wants me to, you know, be a representation to Him, for Him as well.
Right. And without fear. Because for me, I know that whenever I post something regarding race, I know I'm going to get people to unfollow. And I'm fine with that. You know,
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I hit the share button. I'm like, all right. And then my numbers drop. And it's okay. You know, some people aren't going to like it, but
Yeah.
I'm here to share my voice and my experience, our experience. You know.
I suppose that's probably the modern version of if you choose to lose your life for me, there you will find it, huh? Because having people unfollow you is like losing a piece of your life. You're like, oh.
Yeah, and that's another part with just blogging. You have to be okay with people unfollowing because
Yeah.
people's lives evolves and changes, and sometimes they were interested in what you had to offer. They don't need that information anymore. You get what I'm trying to say? They had enough of the information that they needed at the time, so it's okay. We all do it.
Too good. Final question. If you are joining us, we are ending out our afternoon hanging out with Anthony and Tracy Frazier. You can follow them at Seeing Tony and at Knowing Tracy. They're doing fantastic work out there in the digital world. I wanted to ask you both, what hope do you have for the church in general? What hopes do you look down the future and say, you know what, I can see that God is ... in the faith community?
Oh, what hope I have for the specific SDA church or just church in general?
Just the church in general, like the faith community. What is God doing?
Oh man. Well,
More
I'm trying to think.
haystacks.
More haystacks.
Well, you know, I really love when I love how the church brings people together, you know. So more opportunities for that, more opportunities to bring the community together.
Yeah.
Despite your difference in viewpoints and lifestyles and ways of expressing who you are, like that's my hope, is for church to be a wheel or a vehicle for connecting and uniting people despite all the division that's going on.
Ooh.
You know.
Yeah. I hear that. That's good, Trace. Anthony?
Yeah, no, along those same lines, and shout out again to Long Beach. That was one of my
Long Beach.
favorite things about Long Beach Church when we were
Yes.
living in Long Beach for the little
Yes.
time we were. It's like that whole of togetherness of no matter who you are, where you come from, what you've been through, lifestyle and everything. It was just like we're here to be together, to commune with God, to commune with one another, to share our life. Because it's like, life is hard and everybody's gone through different things, but it's just like church shouldn't be that one place where you go and then there's judgment and everything, because it's like we are not in the place to judge because none of us are perfect. So it's like and that's what I liked about what Pastor Pono and and I've heard about your church and everything too and stuff like that, where it's just like the community of making people feel a part. And that's like one thing I've always been about, like whether with when I was doing salsa or sports and everything, is like always making sure everybody is included, because we're all trying to have a better life and need the support. So yeah, community.
Nice. Very nice. If you are joining us, we are ending out right now. Thanks for hanging out with the Fraziers and myself this afternoon here at Tuesday Tea Time. We have gotten a ton, a treasure chest worth of info and tips and tricks for you so that you can get your stuff going on social media. I want to, from the bottom of my heart, thank you, Tracy, and thank you, Anthony. Tony, you guys rocked. Thank you so much. Oh, hello, Kai. And Kai's like, who's that? I don't know. Thank you for joining us, everybody. If you enjoyed this, make sure that you liked us. Go ahead and just do it. Like it, and subscribe, so that every week we're bringing on people here who's going to give you some thoughtful, good, practical things that's going to help you put it into your tool belt of life experiences to make you better. So subscribe, like it, and keep following us every week for good stuff like this. I want to thank you, Anthony and Tracy. Before I let you two go, which of you is a better salsa dancer?
Anthony, he's an instructor. He's a professional. I'm just
Nice. Well, maybe we'll bring you back on sometime to teach us how to do it right, Anthony.
Awesome. Sounds good.
All right. To all of my friends, God bless you. Next week, we're hanging out with youth and young adult directors from Central California, from Southeastern, and from Hawaii. You're not going to want to miss out. It's going to be a good time. But until next time, stay safe. Stay well, my friends. God bless you. And we'll see you next Tuesday for the next Tuesday Tea Time. Peace and love, everybody. Peace and love.